How's it going? Dr. J here with another inspiring message for you. It is 5:30 in the morning and I just had to share this message and get it out of me because I felt really inspired this morning. And this message today comes from this quote by Ralph Waldo Emerson. He says, "Treat a man as he is and he will remain as he is. Treat a man as he could be, and he will become what he should be." So how many times do we look at people, whether they're family members, friends, or complete strangers for that matter, and we look at them and see them for as they are in that moment, and we make a judgment call about who they are as people. And this really hit home to me because I know I've judged a great deal in my life, and I have made accusations about people, people that are family members, people that are friends, strangers even, and I've made these judgments instead of thinking about who they really are. And how many times do we do that with our loved ones, maybe even our spouse? Maybe they have a bad day and they say something that is they say something that kind of ticks you off and makes you react, and you kind of instantly lash back at them, and in reality they're just having a bad day, right? So, oftentimes we make these judgments on other people and they have so much more potential within them. And if we were to treat people, like it says here, if we treated people for who they could be, then they will begin to be who they should be, or maybe they'll feel more inspired and totally change their demeanor. So somebody could be having a bad day, like let's say you're at a restaurant and a waitress or a waiter gives you really poor service. What we should do, rather than saying, wow, this is a terrible waitress or waiter, what we should do is give them the benefit of the doubt. Because look, I believe we were all designed on purpose for an incredible purpose. And how many times in your own life have you had a bad day, or you've been in a rut and you had all these negative things going on in your life, and how many times have you been that way before, and you would want people to look at the person that you really truly are versus the person that you are in that moment. When I was a teenager, I was addicted to smoking pot. I would qualify myself as an alcoholic, and I became very depressed. And you know what? I wasn't living out my full potential. So I was depressed, I was suicidal, and eventually I was 5150, and I was taken to this rehab facility. And you know what was wonderful about all those counselors there? They never once judged me for my behavior. What they did was they talked to me and they gave me guidance and counseling for the person I could be. See, they were able to see through this facade about my behavior and how I was acting, and gave me advice and counseling for the person that they knew deep down inside that I really was. See, a lot of times in life, we act the way we act because there's so much interference going on in our lives, right? Wherever you're at right now, there is a greater you on the other side, and whatever all those limiting beliefs are and all those things that are going on, negative thought patterns, things like that, that's just interference. That is just the facade. That is the lie that you tell yourself each and every day. And what you want is you want to surround yourself with people that are going to pull out the best version of yourself, the people that aren't going to make judgments about your behaviors, the people that are going to literally see through that fog, that dense layer of fog, that facade, and pull out the very best version of yourself. This year, I took a huge step for myself, and I hired a life coach. I hired Dr. Troy Dukowitz as my life coach, because I realized that although I have achieved a certain level of success in my life, I knew I was capable of so much more. And I knew I needed to go outside my comfort zone and hire somebody that can see through all the bullshit lies I was telling myself every single solitary day and pull out the best version of myself. So this is what I want you to do. Here is your homework, okay? I want you to treat people for the beautiful person that they are deep down inside, no matter how they act towards you, no matter how their behavior is, whether it's your kids, your spouse, family members, friends, or whatever. Look, we all have this incredible potential built within each and every one of us. So maybe if we started treating each other as so, this world would be a much better place to live in. And because I'm a chiropractor, I want to talk about chiropractic just for a second here. As a chiropractor, I see people that are sick and suffering, and I have people that come in and they're on all of these drugs and medications. But you know what I see in that person? I see so much potential. I see I see a person that's struggling, that wants help, but they don't realize their full potential because there's so much interference with the drugs and medications they're taking, with the suffering, with all the things that are happening between this year and this year with their thought patterns. So my job as a chiropractor is to remove interference, to remove neurological interference, and to remove that stinking thinking that people have between this year and this year that keeps them trapped in this medical model merry-go-round. See, we've been trained to think every time we have a symptom, every time we have a crisis, that we need a drug to mask those symptoms. We need to eliminate our symptoms as much as possible. So my job as a chiropractor is not only to realign the spine and remove neurological interference, but I have to love on people and help them to make radical shifts and changes in their psychology, so that not only do they get better, not only do they feel better, not only do they function at a higher level, but they can make intelligible decisions, right? They can make better decisions for the rest of their lives that will help them to live out their full potential, their full God-given potential. So something I live by, one of the codes I live by each and every day in my life is that, look, I was designed on purpose. I'm here for a reason. I have an incredible purpose. So I need to quit feeling sorry for myself, and I need to break through those negative thought patterns. As Tony Robbins says, you got to interrupt the pattern and live out the best version of myself, or at least try to each and every day be the best version of myself. I know you can too. I know your loved ones and your friends and your family members, they can be more than who they are. So help them to be that. That's your mission. So treat a man as he is, and he will remain as he is. Treat a man as he could be, and he will become what he should be. So this is Dr. J signing off. God bless you. Remember that. It's like a trillion, the odds of you being born and put into this world is like 1 in a trillion, okay? So the odds are we shouldn't be here, but we are. So we might as well live each and every day intentionally, okay? Remember, it's aligned to thrive, because when all things are in alignment, you can truly thrive in this life. Have a blessed day. It's Friday. Happy Friday. Have a great weekend and stay charged.